Hello everyone, I'm George from Ireland and I'm on Baker Street, London. And there, above Pret a Manger, is where Pitt the Younger lived between 1803 and 1804. So Pitt the Younger is best known for being the youngest Prime Minister the United Kingdom has ever had. So William Pitt was born in 1859. His father was William Pitt the Elder, and his father is more commonly known as the Earl of Chatham. Well, he was later elevated to the peerage. So Pitt the Elder was a Whig, and the family had been wealthy for some time because Pitt the Elder's grandfather, Thomas Pitt, had been in the Honourable East India Company and in the subcontinent made a fortune. Diamond Pitt, as it was known, for the diamond he brought back. And so they owned estates in Kent, and that's why they eventually Pitt the Elder got the title Earl of Chatham, named after the town near London on the Thames estuary where they owned their largest estate. So he'd been Prime Minister during the 7 Years' War. That's 1756 to 63. And obviously fought on 3 continents. Well, on to Pitt the Elder. So he was educated by preceptors at home, never went to school, and then he went to Cambridge at the age of 14, which is exceptionally young even then. I can't remember which colleges. I have a feeling it was St John's, but he got to know some of the leading lights of his day, some youths who went on to become prominent in politics. So he graduated without sitting any degrees, because if you're the son of a nobleman and live within, like, I think it's 3 miles of a certain steeple for 3 years without being sent to prison, you could graduate without sitting exams. So then we went on. He had a good grounding in the classics, was fascinated by rhetoric, politics, history, philosophy, things like that. Got himself elected by a rotten borough, so he was an MP at the age of 21, and within weeks was made Chancellor of the Exchequer. So he had a number of major advantages that his father had previously been Prime Minister, so had his uncle George Grenville, and indeed his cousin Lord William Grenville later became Prime Minister too. Anyway, so Pitt the Younger, he was there when there was this Fox-North coalition. Fox, one of the most radical Whigs, and Lord North, the Tory Prime Minister who'd lost America, who'd absolutely been deadly enemies of each other, but somehow they managed to form a coalition. And they seemed to plumb the depths of cynicism. How could this possibly work? But so that fell after a while, that government, and then Pitt the Younger formed the government at the age of 24, as the doggerel ran at the time: a sight to make all nations stand and stare, a kingdom entrusted unto a schoolboy's care. But anyway, it didn't last. People said it was going to be the mince pies administration. It's formed in December. You eat mince pies at Christmas, it would fall before Christmas. But they were very wrong. It lasted for 18 years. 1783 to 1801, and then there was the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars, and so on. He only stood down in 1801 because the Act of Union has passed in relation to Ireland. So when we joined the United Kingdom, Pitt the Younger had said that Catholic emancipation would fall hard on the heels of that. But it didn't follow. George III was dead against. Now, he wasn't going to veto it. He never ever vetoed any legislation, but he mobilised his minions in Parliament to block it, so it wasn't going to pass. So Pitt the Younger felt obliged to resign on point of principle. But he did come back as Prime Minister briefly in 1806, but he died only a few months later. So he never wed. Rather austere, serious-minded person, but a fantastic conversationalist. Absolutely devoted to his job, was serious-minded. So although he came from a Whig family associated with the Tories more, it's debatable whether he really was a Tory, but his acolytes were known as Pittites, but the "ite" suffix was usually meant to be opprobrious. So he wanted Catholic emancipation long before that was popular in Great Britain. He thought there should be the abolition of the slave trade, so a reforming Tory, a good friend of William Wilberforce. So he never wed, one of only 3 British Prime Ministers not to marry, the others being A.J. Balfour and Sir Edward Heath. So what else about would you want to know about him? So a great intellectual, student of history, but rather a bland character, stony-faced. You might have seen the man as the King George III, and he's admirably portrayed there. That's quite authentic. Apparently there was a convivial side to him, not so apparent to me. You could read the magisterial biography of him by William Hague. Hague saw himself as a bit of a Pitt the Younger because he became leader of the Conservative Party at only 36. Right, that's enough about Pitt the Younger. Toodaloo.